Hello everyone, and welcome back to Andromeda Tarot. My name is Andrea, and today will be a bit of a continuation to my reading that I posted yesterday, only because the first two cards that I drew, I forgot to read the meanings behind those cards. And while I was laying in bed last night, I was thinking, like, I really want to know the meaning behind those cards. So I'm going to go ahead and read the meaning. And just as a reminder, the first question that I asked is what is coming in love for my collective? And the first card that we drew was the Two of Pentacles. And I had mentioned that with the Two of Pentacles around the snake, there is a red thread, which symbolizes the red thread bond. Red thread bond symbolizes twin flame connections. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, so some sort of weighing of pros and cons, a decision that needs to be made, a choice that needs to be made. Okay, and then we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, number 9. The Hermit energy tends to be someone who goes within so that they can figure things out, figure out a decision that they may need to be making. Okay, and so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to read the Two of Pentacles first. Now, I did try to read this earlier, and there is a word in here that had me a little stumped, so bear with me. The Two of Pentacles reminds us to embrace life's unpredictability. Anchored by two pentacles, a snake forms a lemniscate, an infinity sign, with his body, implying that life's ups and downs are integral to its beauty. The word lemniscate comes from the Latin word decorated with ribbons, suggesting a festive mood. This life, however dark at times, is worth celebrating. The snake is also a reminder of the Ouroboros, a serpent biting its own tail, often associated with the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. The Ouroboros speaks to constant transformation. Like the snake, we can adapt to life's twists and turns, shedding our skin and emerging into new life. Upright, it may feel as though life is a balancing act, but you have the grace to embrace its irregularities and the good sense to adapt to any situation. Do I enjoy the unpredictability of life? How can I be more spontaneous? Okay, and so the meaning behind this card that I'm getting from the guidebook is talking about more about the infinity and life's ups and downs, and kind of being able to bob and weave with the unpredictability of life and its ups and downs. And also, like, maybe you're feeling a little bit bored with your life and you're wanting a little more adventure, more spontaneity. You're kind of tired of the routine that you're in. Okay, as far as what is coming next in love, so you may be in a situation already that is feeling mundane, or yeah, maybe in a situation that's feeling mundane. Okay, and then we have the Hermit, number 9. The skunk walks the reclusive path of the hermit, searching alone for enlightenment and turning to introspection for answers. Hermits live their lives in seclusion, apart from society, much like adult skunks, which are solitary creatures and have the unique ability to repel predators by spraying a foul-smelling secretion when their tail is raised. They just want to be left alone, perhaps to think, reflect, turn their attention inward. Upright, take some time for yourself, avoid distractions, practice meditation, and try to find inner peace. Do I like being alone? How can I get more comfortable spending time with myself? And so there is a possibility that you are in a relationship with someone who it's starting to feel mundane, and maybe like you're settling, and maybe like you are in this relationship because you are codependent and you are afraid of being alone. And so you are longing for alone time. but you're also afraid of this alone time that you might experience. You're afraid of the healing that might take place. But this is necessary part of life, is to spend some time alone and to learn about yourself and who you are, the wounds that need to be healed, traumas that you experienced in your life, whether it be in childhood or more recent, and how to heal those wounds. Your what I'm hearing is your inner child. Okay. All right. Okay, next question is, how is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? We have the Eight of Wands with a handsome rooster. How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? And we have the Two of Arrows in reverse. This mole. So another energy of a decision needing to be made. Ooh. Okay, so these cards are this is kind of weird. So the cards that I have, I've got the Two of Wands and the Moon, and I don't know how this is supposed to go back in the deck, so I'm going to take these cards too. The Two of Wands and the Moon. And then let me get some clarifying cards with the Love Oracle deck. This one fell out. Distracted, sidetracked, change, delays. How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about the collective? One day, somewhere, another time, someday. So it seems as if they are distracting themselves from perhaps doing what their heart desires someday. They're saying someday. And some people say someday never comes until you actually heal yourself and until you actually believe that you can change the path that you're on. There might be somebody here at my house with my dog barking. Give me a moment. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the people that are going to be painting the outside of my house are starting to get here. One of them's just parked out there, so my dog's like freaking out. Okay, so first we have the Eight of Wands for how the person on my collective's mind is feeling about the collective. The Eight of Wands is a card of energy, action, and movement. A roadmap to success lies before you, and with swift action, your full potential will be fulfilled. In this card, a rooster crows in the foreground as the wands zoom past, He woke at dawn before any other animal. He is ready to greet the day, loudly proclaiming his chosen path and encouraging others to do the same. Keep going and fast. You know what the next steps are. The signs are all pointing forward. Do not lose momentum. Am I ready for the next steps? Am I on the right path? And so, like I had mentioned, you were feeling sidetracked, distracted, change, delays, saying one day, someday, somewhere, another time, I will fulfill my wishes. But then with this energy here, as far as how the person on my collective's mind is feeling about the collective, it sounds like they're starting to get this momentum. Maybe they woke up today and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna follow this path that I want to go on. I want to follow my heart. I want to do what I'm passionate about. If they're passionate about you, then they're starting to feel like they're ready to take action. And this rooster, of course, is masculine energy, the cock. The cock. Okay. We have the Two of Arrows in reverse. I know, Scooter. There's somebody outside. The Two of Arrows in reverse. So the Two of Arrows appears when a choice must be made. A blindfolded mole stands before us holding two arrows in its paws. While many people believe that moles are blind, they can, in fact, see and are quite perceptive in their dark subterranean environments. Pliny the Elder wrote that the mole was admired by magicians for its apocryphal lack of sight. According to Pliny, a life spent underground with the dead gave the animal supernatural abilities. Perhaps such a mystical gift will aid you in your decision making. Here, the mole's blindfold reminds us that biases may cloud our judgment, and that we must rely on other senses when making a choice. Weigh each arrow, fill out your options, and explore the possibilities in your mind. Reverse, you feel unable to make a decision. Perhaps you have too much information or perhaps too little. To remove this roadblock, you must break it down piece by piece. Do I trust my judgment? What are the pros and cons of each option? And so your person might be struggling with making a decision, and a lot of it has to do with being in touch with their feelings. And so advice for your person would be to write it down. Write down your thoughts, write down your feelings of the situation that you're in versus the situation that you want to be in. Weigh out the pros and cons of each situation, the possibility of pros and cons for each situation. Take it step by step, day by day. Something that my uncle always told me was, how do you eat an elephant's ass one bite at a time, or something like that. Not that you would want to eat an elephant's ass, but it is I can't think right now. My brain is not all the way on right now. I am going to be going hiking later today with my friend, and so I'm super excited about that. Okay. And we also have the moon card, which means that your person is in their feelings, or your person's hiding emotions. They are thinking about their mate. But yeah, so let's go ahead and read the moon card. That is 18. The moon dreamily lights the way and shows the path forward. An Arctic fox and red fox pause on their journey to look up at the beauty of this celestial body. The two vulpine species are different but similar. Both excellent hunters, the Arctic fox can survive in brutally cold climates, while the red fox is larger, more territorial, more aggressive. Together, the foxes represent opposing forces within ourselves, but the two are unified by the moon. This is the card of dreams and intuition. It tells us to trust in ourselves In the moonlight, inner truths can be revealed without prejudice or disdain. Upright, you may be lying awake at night, unable to decipher your next move. When we're in the dark, we feel lost and alone. We sometimes tell ourselves lies to comfort ourselves or to prepare for the worst. Instead, remember, the unknown doesn't have to be scary. Trust in yourself and let your intuition be your guide. Sunrise may be hours away, but inspiration can strike you even in the dead of night. What worries keep me up at night? Do I trust my intuition? And so this person is, they're feeling doubt about their next move. It seems as if they are scared of change. And this is what's holding them back from breaking away from whatever situation that they're in and moving towards you. And so more advice for your person would be, you know, if there are worries or things that's keeping them up at night, to write down their thoughts and take another look at those thoughts during the day. And that would be a way to kind of help plan out your next move. Okay, and then lastly, the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. A scholarly weasel looked out across the wide expanse, a globe held within his paws. He has put in the time researching and learning and is now ready to embark on his plans. Weasels are known for being solitary and observant creatures who can respond with speed and ease. Folklore tells us weasels can, I have a lot of trouble saying folklore for some reason, tells us that weasels can be warriors, spies, heroes, or villains, defeating their foes, working alone, and observing before acting. Channeling the energy of the weasel, we too can accomplish anything. Upright, you've done all the research you can, and now is the time to act. You have the whole world in front of you, and adventure is calling. What are the next steps in seeing my creative vision fulfilled? Do I work better alone or with a team? And so it seems as if there's a process happening with all of these cards that will eventually lead to this person having a plan. And so this person is strategic about how they want to come towards you, is what I'm hearing. Okay. And next, I want to ask how you are feeling about this person on your mind. Okay, how is the collective feeling about the person on their mind? How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? We have the Knight of Wands. That looks like, forget what those things are called, but they're cute. How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? The Page of Wands. Okay. A lot of wand action. Let me get some clarifying cards here. How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? How is my collective feeling about the person on their mind? So apparently my collective thinks that possibly this person on their mind, or vice versa, put a hex on them, is into witchcraft, has a negative mind, a curse on them. I put a spell on you. Something like that. Okay, how is the collective? Ooh. Open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. And so perhaps how's the collective feeling about the person on their mind? So perhaps this person with putting this spell on you has turned you into a person with an open heart, a person who is more receptive, has more empathy, feels more vulnerable, maybe in their company, or maybe that's what intrigues you about the person on your mind. Okay. And so Knight of Wands. It's called the axolotl or something like that. That's right. Those are cute. The Knight of Wands is represented by an axolotl, which captures this knight's tendency to dive headfirst into action. Axolotls are known for their unique ability to regenerate limbs, gills, and even parts of their brains, hearts, and eyes. They are named for the Aztec deity Xolotl, the god of fire and lightning. Swimming underwater, they look just like a dragon soaring into battle. Upright, your quest has begun, running into battle with a zest for life. You do not fear the challenges that may befall you. Twitchy. You do not fear the challenges that may befall you. After all, just like the axolotl, you'll quickly regenerate and continue onward. What excites me? How can I prepare for success? So it looks like the person on my collective's mind is also like ready to take action, ready to go forward with what excites them. And I don't know if you guys know what an axolotl is, but they're really cute, and they look like they have a little smile on their face. So maybe the person on your mind, when they are in a good mood and happy, they're actually really cute. Okay. And then we have the Page of Wands. Curious and spirited, a young Martin lovingly studies his wand and considers how to wield it to its full potential. In tarot, pages are neophytes, learning about their suit and preparing to take on the challenges it presents. Like an apprentice, the Martin is ready to learn from the master how to best hone his talents. For now, his powers are burgeoning but chaotic, passionate but uncontrolled. He is guided more by curiosity than by past experience. Upright, you are ready to take on a new creative project, seek inspiration by taking on a class on a topic of interest or visiting a museum you've been meaning to explore. What topics pique my interest? How can I nurture a sense of childlike curiosity? And so it's similar to the Knight of Wands, except this energy is more of a curious energy, because maybe this relationship that you are interested in is new ground for you, and possibly because it makes you feel vulnerable. It makes you feel like you have an open heart, you're more receptive, empathetic, and vulnerable. And so it scares you a little bit, but that's what excites you to want to go for it. Okay. I want to know how this person on my collective's mind is feeling about themselves. How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about themselves? How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about themselves? How's the person on my collective's mind feeling about themselves? Oh, we have the Ten of Cups. So I'm getting that the person on my collective's mind is feeling like they can achieve this end goal with being in a happy, loving relationship with the collective. How is the person on my collective's mind feeling about themselves? How is the person the King of Wands. Wow, stepping up. Like, hey, I can do this. I believe in myself. I got this. Okay. It's a good energy. All right, and let me get a couple of clarifying cards. Actually, you know what? Instead of using the Oracle deck, I want to use the Woodland Wardens deck. The Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. You know what? The first card that I saw, I haven't gotten this one yet. The Possum and Peony, Bashfulness. And so they're feeling a little bashful. Maybe this is new territory that they're getting into, and perhaps they haven't moved forward because of the vulnerability that they're feeling, the bashfulness. This kind of reminds me of the shirt that I'm wearing too. All right, let's take a look. All right, the Ten of Cups. The joy of the Nine of Cups spreads into the Ten of Cups as an idyllic family of tapers celebrating together. 10 cups shine in a rainbow overhead while the children dance. This card reminds us of the happiness that comes from family and friends and invites us to commemorate our achievements with our closest cohorts. Tapirs are known for being docile creatures, noted as one of the oldest mammal species still in existence, and for the role they play in restoring ecosystems by eating and dispersing large amounts of fruit, seeds, and degraded forests. In Japanese folklore, these animals closely resemble the mythological Beiku, a creature who devours nightmares so only good dreams persist. Your love for your family and friends radiates and brings joy to your inner circle. Your close confidants are there for you and ready to celebrate your latest achievement. Do my friends and family support dreams and celebrate my success? Do I celebrate theirs? And so I feel with this card that maybe as far as how you're feeling about yourself, something that may have been holding you back from living this sort of life is you are concerned about what your friends and family are gonna think. And maybe you realize that my video cut me off because it says that I ran out of phone storage, so I had to clear up some space. But what I was saying was maybe you realize that as long as you're happy, that the people who are meant to be in your life will be happy for you. That's all they care for is your happiness. People that actually love and care for you are all they care for is whatever makes you happy. Okay? And now we have the King of Wands. So we had the Page, the Knight, and now the King. So moving on up, let's get the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a salamander, a creature said to have been birthed from flames. Aristotle wrote of the salamander's mastery over fire, and Pliny the Elder even claimed the creature could extinguish a blaze. The salamander is no stranger to tarot, originally appearing on the throne of the King of Wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Kings appear when leadership is thrust upon us, and the King of Wands is noted for his charisma, intelligence, and enthusiasm. He looks out upon his kingdom with a furrowed brow, preparing to make the tough decisions. Complex problems require creative solutions, and the King of Wands is ready to help you enact them. Leadership can be a challenge, but keeping a cool head and relying on your ingenuity will get you far. Am I ready to take on a leadership position? How can I be both authoritative and kind? And so got cut off again. Okay, and so this is telling me to wrap it up. And so with this King of Wands and Ten of Wands together, what I'm hearing is you have been worried in the past about taking on a leadership role, and when it comes to this person on my collective's mind, it might be taking on this masculine role in the relationship that they want to be in with you. And so this has brought them fear of commitment and being with someone like you. And they're questioning, like, how can I be this authoritative person without coming off as a jerk? And so that is something that has concerned them in the past. But what I'm hearing is that you are starting to believe that this is something that you can achieve. And this is something that you are feeling on the inside, as you do want this union, is what I'm hearing. Okay, and lastly, we have the possum and peony. And so hopefully my phone doesn't cut me off before I finish this one here. That is 28, the possum and peony. Bashfulness. To play possum is to remain quiet and still when faced with danger. The expression comes from the possum's unique reaction to fear. It keels over and pretends to be dead. This is an instinctual response and an effective one. Spotting what appears to be a dead possum, predators will often lose interest. Similarly, the beautiful peony flower is associated with bashfulness. According to Greek mythology, nymphs who wished to hide from mortal eyes would disguise themselves as peonies. Upright, you may wish to hide away from the world. While periods of solitude are necessary and healthful, be sure your retreat isn't driven by fear. How do I respond to fear, instinctually or otherwise? And so kind of another message of how your person's feeling about themselves. They're still feeling a little afraid. This is what's been holding them back from moving forward. And so if there is no communication, or if they haven't moved forward yet with a connection or a commitment with you, and it's been a long time, it is because they are experiencing some self-confidence issues that they are trying to work through so that they can come to be this King of Wands, this person who is obviously confident and who's ready to take on a masculine leadership role in the relationship that they can see this union with, that they're imagining with you. All right, and so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here since I'm having technical difficulties, and I think that the painters are getting ready to paint my house. But once again, and as always, it was a pleasure doing this reading for you all, for y'all. I hope that y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see you again soon.